Files and folders allow for easy storage of material that you'd like for your students or participants to access at a later date. This can be found in Activity 5, Files and Folders. In the sample material, you can see that I've given you a few different examples of different types of material that can be uploaded. The examples in this case would be a few PDFs and some Word documents, as well as a few pages. I'll walk you through a couple of those now just to familiarize you with some of the options that you have available. Now, as always, anytime you want to add something new, we're going to turn on editing. And then we'll scroll to the topic that we'd like to create a new activity, or in this case, upload a new file to. And you can see that we have our Add a Resource and Add Activity tabs below. In this particular case, since we're just uploading a file, we're going to add a resource. So we're simply going to select File. It'll bring us directly into the Add New File dialog. We'll give our file a name. We'll call it Test Document. Give it a description. And then under Content, this is where we can add the files, or we can even create a folder of which to add files in. In this particular case, I'm going to upload a file. In fact, for nearly all of your courses, you're going to choose Upload a File. Google Docs is not fully implemented in all versions of Moodle at this time, so you're probably better off, for the time being at least, just choosing a file from your computer. We'll go to the desktop, and I have a sample file called Moodle Enrollment. You can also give it a name here. And we'll go ahead and upload it. Now you can see that this document has been uploaded to the content area. The next step that we have to do is to determine how we want this to be viewed. Now there are a few options. There's automatic, embed, force download, open, and pop-up. The two most common are going to be automatic or embed. Automatic essentially does the same thing as force download, and what will happen is if somebody clicks on the resource, it's just going to bring up the download dialog on your browser. If you choose embed, however, it's actually going to take the document and embed it right within your website. Individuals still have the opportunity to download from there. They simply have to right-click and choose the Save As command. So just as an example, let's leave it on automatic. And we will save and return to course. You can see that it put the test document that we just created down at the bottom of topic 1. But I can essentially drag this anywhere that I'd like. For example, I might prefer to have this document down in lesson 3. This is where I should have placed this. And just for the sake of it, I'll put it here under sample material. You'll see test document. Now you can see that I've given you a few examples of different styles, what it looks like if it's embedded, what it looks like if it's a file, if it's a page, and so forth. So just for the sake of it, let's see what happens when we click on this test document at this time. You can see it prompts for a download. Notice that the Save As command, the name of the document is the name that I put in that specific field, ME. So it probably would have been best for me to have typed it out in this case. But if I save this back to my desktop, it's now being saved. And if I go to my desktop, here's the document. Now sometimes it's beneficial to embed a file, and I'll show you what that looks like. You would basically do the same thing that we did, except that using the drop-down command earlier, instead of automatic, we would choose embed. This is what an embedded file looks like. This started out as a PDF document, which again, if I right-click on the screen, I can choose the Save As command, and I could then save it to my desktop as well. But the nice advantage here is that as long as the individual has Adobe Reader installed, then they can view it right within the page. This is great if you want students to read an article or some material, but they don't necessarily need to have a full copy of it on their own computer. Keep in mind, however, if you want students to access this material from school, some schools, site administrators block automatic document downloads or embedded documents. So just keep that in mind. If your school is one of those that will not allow the students to view or download a PDF on the school computer, you do have another option, and that option is listed here under Page or Paste from Word command. Basically what I've done in these is, suppose you're not able to download a file. The other option is instead of uploading a file, you could simply create a page, give your page a name, a description, and then just come down to the page content area and we would simply paste this information in. So if I just need to give them this information and I couldn't get it to them in a download form, I could paste it right in here. And the advantage to this is that there are no download restrictions on viewing a page because technically nothing's being downloaded at this point. I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of this. But you can see, if you look at the resources, all of the various options that you have available and what they would look like. In fact, I've used the same document and shown you a few different ways that it can be done. In this particular case, I've taken a sample file, PDF, and uploaded it. This will show you what it looks like embedded. This will show you what it looks like as a file download, as a page, and as a paste from Word command, which I'll show you in a later video. The one final option is adding a folder, and again, the same basic command, except instead of file, we're going to select folder at this time. This is great if you have a lot of material. So say this was my Unit 2 resources. I could now add several files here. And you'll see them all listed below. And let's go ahead and save and return to course. Now you can see that it's actually presented that information in a folder, and when you click into this folder, you'll see the documents that can be downloaded.